Hello, creative souls, and welcome back to season 2 of the Think Outside the Blue Box podcast. Welcome back. Thank you so much for watching. We had a great season 1. We had a great lineup, some great guests, great stories, and season 2 is going to be even better. If you guys have noticed, we actually have new graphics, new music, new format. So hopefully it's a little bit more entertaining and more engaging for you. There's going to be better editing this time around, so definitely get subscribed. So you don't miss any of our new episodes coming out. We're going to start with this one with Mr. Vince Serrano. Just a heads up with Mr. Vince, this interview was actually recorded during season 1, but I actually held off on releasing it because I knew that season 2 I was going to revamp the podcast. So it's a great interview. You guys are in for a treat. It's a great guy, has a great story, and I believe that this season you guys are going to enjoy all the guests and all the stories that I'm going to have on, so definitely get subscribed so you don't miss anything. If you're interested in being on the podcast, if you want to come here and sit down and tell your story, if you think that your story is engaging or inspiring, reach out, DM me on Instagram. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Twitter, at BlueBox Podcast, or podcast at BlueBoxDigital.com. Just send us a little blurb about your story, and then we'll get back to you, and we'll get you scheduled to be on the podcast. Another side note, we actually have a merch shop now, so if you guys want to get your Blue Box merch, head over to shop.blueboxdigital.com and help support the show. We also have subscriptions, so if you guys want to get subscribed for as little as 99 cents a month, you can get episodes of the podcast with no ads. You get some extra bonus content, some behind-the-scenes stuff. It's a really good, beneficial membership. So if you guys want to get subscribed to the show and help us out, we really appreciate that. All the links for everything to support the show, they're all in the description down below. So if you're feeling generous, just head down there. Anything you can do to help the show grow and make this a platform that's beneficial for everybody, we really, really appreciate it. If you can't afford, or if you can't do the monetary support, we would really appreciate it if you can share the episodes, like, comment. We need as much engagement as we possibly can on these videos to help grow the platform and make it something valuable for you and for our guests. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into our first episode of Think Outside the Blue Box Season 2, Mr. Vince Serrano.
So that's the crazy part, is that they did the perfect example. They did like the perfect balance, and not making me look like Tony, and not making me look like Tommy from Power. You know what I'm saying? Right? So it's like
it was a good balance. I like the narrator.
Yeah, Remy.
Yeah, she's cool.
Remy Ma. Yeah. She's a rapper. Like
yeah.
They did it. She did that. Her commentary is funny.
Yeah. It's like,
she had me
no.
Going, that sounds suspect. I'm like, Remy, if you don't stop it right now. If you don't stop it, I was right there.
Oh man, did she record it on set?
No, she was on like voiceover.
Okay.
So she's watching it and then putting on the thing and be like, wait a minute,
Yeah, right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Think Outside the Blue Box podcast, a podcast about creative journeys, the hustlers, the entrepreneurs, the people that are out there following their dreams in hopes to help you to follow your dreams. I'm Anthony Rivera. I'm the lead videographer and editor here at Blue Box Digital, and today I'm joined by a special guest, Mr. Vince Serrano.
What's up? Youngest in the yacht club. You already know. How you doing, bro?
Good. How are you, man?
Man, I'm hustling, man. I just got in this weekend. I'm home for the weekend, and then I'm back out. Yeah.
You're back in Tampa for a couple of days?
For a couple of days, enjoying the family, living life, but then back on the road, bro. Back on the road,
Nice. It never stops, bro.
It doesn't. And as long as it's something that you love to do, it's got to be, you got to go get it.
Yeah. That's why I schedule appointments here all day long, even late. Like if people say I can't be there until like 11, let's do it at 11.
Bro, this is fire, man. Like I think I really truly do respect the hustle on this end, because you can see exactly how well put this is. This is well put together. You can see the study. I look at what you're doing and I say, hey, look, man, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate you stopping by. You reached out, right? Like when you saw, who did you see?
I saw Kid Brick, and then I saw K Love.
Okay.
And K Love, I got a lot of love for K Love. He actually produced the record, The Plug, for me.
Oh, nice.
And he was saying, like, Me and K-Love, we reach out and, you know, get advice from each other a lot. And so when I saw him and then I saw Brick and then I've seen a lot of artists from the Bay Area, I'm looking at it and I'm saying, hold on, man. Like, where am I at, bro? Hold up.
You got to get on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it specifically with the black and the blue in the background of all the guests, specifically for that, because every time somebody swipes up on their Instagram Reels or something and they see that, like, instant
marketing.
Instant.
Beast.
Yeah.
Beast. Gotta do that.
A branding genius.
Yes. Big time. Big time.
So tell me about you, bro. I know you got a hell of a story. You just had an episode of My True Crime Story drop on VH1, man. It's a hell of an episode.
The same way I say about everybody else, man. I don't come from a silver spoon. Not saying that that's bad, because I was locked up with a bunch of people who had silver spoons in their mouth and they still had problems. I don't ever make excuses for the lifestyle that the life I was given. I'm grateful to be here. My mom had prior abortions before I was even here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I heard stories that, you know, my family members that love me the most even told my mom, like, yo, don't have this kid, you're not ready, you know?
Wow.
So since the day I was born, bro, I've been fighting for my life. Since the day I've been conceived, I've been fighting for my life. And I take that very seriously, because with the things that have happened in my life, man, I'm lucky to even be blessed here talking to you. And
dude, I watched the episode the other day and I was blown away, man. I was like, how is this guy still here? Like,
big facts.
Wow.
Big facts. Through sheer will and a higher power, the universe, whether it's God, whether it's this chair or this
whatever
mic.
you call it.
Yeah, it's definitely more than me, you know. It's the people around me. A lot of people that, like I said, the people that I even love, right? Like, they support me to the point where, like, you can get through anything.
Yeah.
You know? And it's big. It's big for that. That's huge, because when I don't believe it, they give me that extra push.
Nice. You need that.
Big time.
Yeah.
Today's episode is brought to you by Canva. Canva Pro is an online graphic design app that makes content creation easy for everyone. And it helps out the show. To start your 30-day free trial, head over to canva.blueboxdigital.com.
Where are you from originally, man? You look Hispanic.
Yeah, so my family's Dominican. I'm half Puerto Rican. I'd like to say American, because when I went to Puerto Rico, the Puerto Ricans told me I wasn't Puerto Rican.
Oh, damn.
I didn't know any Spanish. So,
wow.
But when I went, my mom's American with a Puerto Rican descent. When I went to DR, my dad's Dominican. And when I went to DR really, like, they embraced me. I learned the language, I learned the culture, so I speak Spanish like a Dominican.
Nice.
The
Dominican accent.
Yeah, and it's just, to me, I love when people embrace people. I'm not a big fan of haters. I'm not a big fan of bullies. I'm not a big fan of negativity. And so, when I get with a group of people or a group of like-minded individuals, and they're just forcing people, or they treat people with love and respect and compassion, I gravitate towards that. And I feel like people gravitate towards me because of that too.
Yeah.
Now, don't get it twisted. There's nothing sweet on this side, but it's like, I want to make sure that people know, it's like, all positive thoughts, all love, that's what creates the that momentum.
The cycle, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
What brought you to Florida? I know you.
Yeah, so I was living all over the place. My mom was she was a traveling woman.
Yeah.
She moved us out of New York. I was born in New York, Brooklyn, New York, and then she moved us out of New York, and then she went to a place called Utah. Yeah, and I'm like,
wow, that's a big change.
Big time. And I'm looking like, what the hell? So we stayed out there for 6 years, and then we moved to Puerto Rico, and then we stayed in Puerto Rico 6 months.
Nice.
It just wasn't. Well, it was nice, but it was going there on vacation and living there's another
a whole different story.
Yeah,
man.
You got to really acclimate to what's going on. And because I didn't,
Puerto Rican, right?
You're Puerto Rican.
I'm Puerto Rican.
There you go.
Born and raised. Yeah.
What part of Puerto Rico?
San Juan, Santurce.
Okay, Santurce. Yeah. La placita de Santurce.
Yeah.
I lived in Caguas.
Okay.
But I didn't know any Spanish because my mom raised us like American.
Yeah, you're gringo.
Gringo, bro. And you get it, right? So now you understand, right? So that's the first thing. And gringo is like saying, like, it's a derogatory term if you think about it for us, right?
Yeah.
Because we're like, oh, that means like white boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and because I had lived in Utah, and I had gone through the racism out there. When somebody said anything to me, I was quick to react.
Oh, wow.
And so, and then my sister, she's blonde hair, blue eyes, you know, doesn't know any Spanish, and they're tormenting her, and she's not the type to stay quiet.
Oh, man.
So you know that it starts into some static. So for like 3 months, every single day in Caguas, I would walk down the street, and there'd be on the corner people waiting there for me to fight.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
It was like that.
It was like that, and I was game every day
Oh, my
for the
God.
respect, like, because, you know, and then this is the crazy part. This is why I say, like, gangsters and everybody, that positivity and stuff, they gravitate towards me because they're like, yo, what's up with this cat? Because he's cool, but he's not no punk. And so I one day we're fighting, go to school.
The normal
normal
stuff,
day.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go to school, and I come in late. I'm like scratched up, and this dude who's sitting there, he's looking at me, and he knows English. He's like, yo, what happened to you? I'm like, man, every day, man. I was like, yo, at first I was like, man, every day I got these people over there. I got to show them, man. Like, and he was like, where? I was like, over here, early in the morning. Every time I walk past the school, because I live in the plaza, and I got to come this way. They're waiting. They want to mess with my sister, all that. He was like, huh. Man, don't fight. That's what he says. Don't be fighting, man. I'm like, all right, yeah, whatever. You can say that. Yeah, you can say that, but I'm gonna do what I do. The next day I go, and the dude is there waiting with him. So I'm like, this is the setup. So I go to take off my backpack, and he's like, yo, is this the dude? And they were like, yeah. And he was like, yo, the next person that touches this dude got to deal with me.
Ooh.
His name was Gilbert. I'll never forget him. And I was like, yo, what just happened? And he was like, don't worry about it. Come chill with me. Turns out this dude's like 17. I'm like 13. He's like 17. He's still in like 8th grade.
Oh, damn.
He's the bichote, right, of the area. I hang out with him. I don't know this, right? The school calls my mom. And they're like, yo, you need to come get your son because he's hanging out with like the wrong crowd. So my mom's like, yo, who are you hanging out with?
High
You
school
hanging
mafia.
out? Yeah. Well, middle school.
school
Luis
mafia.
Muñoz Marin, like middle school, right? So I'm like, I don't know. I'm trying to, all I know is this dude stopped the fighting.
Wow.
Right? So I got mad respect for him because he ain't had to do that.
Yeah.
And she told me that I got to defend my family, right? Defend my sister, and she's being tormented. Now you telling me not to hang out with the G that helped, right?
Damn.
So I got no respect for that, right? I'm confused. So she just moved me right out of Puerto Rico. We just moved. She said,
We gotta go.
You gotta go because you're gonna be you. And in Puerto Rico they don't play, bro. They believe in closed caskets. And
Dude,
so
I tell my mom all the time, moving here was the best decision that we ever made because if I was still there, I would either be dead or arrested or
Puerto Rico's
who
another
knows?
level.
Yeah,
I lived
who
in
knows?
Dominican Republic, man. I played ball out there for 2 years after we moved back. I came back, went to high school, played ball. I went to DR. DR is a totally different place than Puerto Rico.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot more calm. And it was a different experience in Puerto Rico. It was one of those things where it taught me how to be tough for sure. Because going to Utah and like, dealing with the negativity of being called like not like your culture, people. I'm Dominican, right? So they would call me Mexican. You know what I'm saying? And you're not Mexican,
Yeah.
right? And so it's like they don't understand. It's like calling somebody out, like somebody from the Philippines. You're calling them Chinese, or someone from a different. You're like watering down their culture.
yeah.
And so going from there, and then going from Puerto Rico and seeing going through the same kind of instance from my own people, like, nah, you're not Puerto Rican enough.
It's like, where do I fit in? Like,
It was tough. So I called myself sin bandera, right? Because I didn't, you fighting over here in the United States to be Latino, but when you get to the Latin American countries, they
they're
say
fighting you too.
Yeah.
What the? Wow.
These are the things that people don't understand, right? They don't understand these things are constantly happening every single day in younger kids' lives. So when we talk about mental health, when we talk about those things that are going on, when we talk about like having to prove yourself, when we talk about Latinos in America, from the ones that are coming over here and having to deal with the stigmatism of, the stigma of being Latino, to the ones that are born here that are getting a better life, to the ones that have to go back, that choose to go back to learn their roots, it's a cycle.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that, but I've gone through it, you know?
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Yeah.
It's tough.
You gotta be very, very comfortable in your skin.
Yeah.
You know, and know that you putting on for your city and you putting on for the culture the way that you want to. And to me, that's what drives me the most, because I've had, like I said, since the day I was born, I've had to prove that I deserve to be here.
You fight, man.
Every
Fighting
day.
every day.
Every day.
Dude, I actually went out west and I did, I mean, I look white, right?
Yeah, right,
Like, I don't look Hispanic.
Right.
But my brother does. And I was with my brother and it was like, people acted a little bit differently than they normally do.
For sure.
I started to see like people kind of following us around.
What part? What part?
It was Washington State.
Yeah. So even in Washington State, because like Seattle, that's like New York, right?
Yeah.
On the West Coast, right? But you can tell the cultural differences.
Oh, it's huge.
I mean, you go from Tampa, you go to St. Pete, there's cultural differences.
Yeah.
So imagine you go to on the other side of the country. I went to Oregon. I shot a lot of my videos that we see. I went out there to Oregon.
Nice.
And you know, you can only have. I only like to have a carry-on in my, because I travel a lot, so I keep everything in my carry-on and my personal thing. I sometimes get 3 bags on.
Nice.
Right. I go to Oregon. And I have to do some shopping if I'm gonna shoot a video out there. When I walk into the stores, man, people are looking at me like I'm, and it's because they're not used to seeing somebody like this.
Yeah.
They say I'm talking too fast.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? Yo, one time the dude wouldn't sell me 2 pairs of shoes. It's a Nike store in Oregon, in Eugene, Oregon. Like, that's like where the University of Oregon is.
Yeah.
And Nike was made in that area, in those areas, right? Beaverton, all that stuff. So, but it's a policy that I didn't know, that they couldn't sell me 2 pairs of shoes for the resale. So I'm looking at this dude like, do you want this money or not? Like, where's your manager, man? Like, yo, he was like, I can't do it. I'm gonna lose my job. I'm like, bro, you acting like you about to sell me a kilo of cocaine, bro.
Yeah,
Relax,
what the
bro.
hell?
We done with that. Like, and he was Latino too.
Wow.
So he was like, I was like, look, what if I give my boy who's in the car, I need these shoes for this video shoot, my brother.
Like, I can't walk out of here without them.
I need them. He was like, all right, bring them in. So I brought him in. I gave the dude, I'm not going to give him my credit card. I give him to do my credit card. And he's like, no, you can't do it like that. I'm like, bro, if you don't give me these shoes right now, yo, your manager, if I was owning this store, bro, if I was your manager, you'd be fired right now, bro. You
What
better
the
take
hell?
that man's money.
Wow. It's not very good business.
It's just that I understand his points, because he said, like, especially in Oregon, right? They get the shoes that aren't dropping, right? So they resell the resale value. Yeah. But I'm like, yo, what's the resale value on these joints? He's like, oh, there is none. So just sell me the shoe then.
So what's the problem? Yeah.
But he was, you know,
It's because it's policy.
right, and I get that. And so the thing about it was, when I went to go talk, this is the thing that kicked me off. This is when I realized, like, oh man, you in a different place.
Yeah.
I went
You're not
back to
home.
the video dude. I went back to the cinematographer, and he was like, yo, what's going on? I'm like, man, this place is weird, man. I got this Latino dude being like acting like I'm shady, like I'm trying to scam him or something, man, for some shoes. He's like, bro, you got to calm down, bro. I'm like, what you mean calm down, bro? You ain't go through what I'm going through. He's like, bro, you're in a different spot, man. People see you. They're not used to that. They're not used to the vibe. And that scares some people, what they don't understand, it scares them. And I'm like, you got to be scared, bro. Don't where I'm from.
Yeah, it's a completely different story.
You better be talking. You better hurry up and get out my face, bro. Like, let me get your car. Give me the shoes. Let's go to the next person. You know, attend these customers, bro. You know, and it's just there's different cultures, and sometimes I got to slow myself down and realize that.
Yeah, even within the same country, like in like you said, United States, East and West are completely different cultures, and it's a culture shock every time you travel.
Bro, I went to college. I played basketball. In the story, I went to play ball in Pella, Iowa, a town of like,
Wow.
At that time, I think it was a town of maybe 10,000, maybe 5,000, maybe 2,000 and 6,000 students.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And it was the same. It was the same. I've noticed that through my whole life. It's the same thing, right? Different people, different area, different culture.
Different experiences, yeah.
I'm not eating like arroz con gandula. I'm not eating, you know,
Not in
de los tres golpes. Not in Iowa, bro. Like, right? I'm not eating mango. So I'm looking at it and I'm saying, like, how am I going to get through this? Right? I love steak and potatoes, but I'm not trying to eat it every day.
Yeah.
I love my culture. I love my Latinos. I love going down to the Colmado. When I go to New York, my brother still has an apartment, our apartment in Richmond Hill, Queens. We go down to the Colmado, like, they know me.
Yeah.
They know me to this day. I haven't lived there for 5 years. They still know me to this day. Oh, it's good to see you. The Middle Eastern people from over there, they're looking, and yo, it's good to see you, man. Da, 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 da. How you been? How's the family? You still living in Florida? But I see you all the time. Like, how does that work? You know? And it's just, it makes me feel good because, you know, I love that sense of, like, you know, camaraderie, that sense of, like, you from the neighborhood. Yeah, community. And some people in the community, you know, man, you gotta, it's tough to break in.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I remember when we first moved here from Puerto Rico, my grandma was used to having certain ingredients to cook with.
Oh, yeah, sazon, adobo, all that, yeah.
And we couldn't find it when we got here, so we had to have a bunch of stuff shipped from Puerto Rico just so she could make the
food,
meals that we were used to.
Yeah, I bet you she was bugging out.
Oh, dude. I want to go back.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
It's like, Grandma, it's not that bad.
It's that we gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work.
We made it work.
You gotta adapt.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I learned. At the beginning, I was kind of like, I was rough around the edges. I didn't want to adapt. Why? Change for what? Change for who?
You're not changing me.
Right.
That kind of mentality.
Yeah. And then, well, if you're not changing you, then you're gonna get the same kind of pushback from them.
You're not gonna fit in, man.
Well, they're not gonna change either.
Yeah.
So there has to be some kind of compromise, and you know, when things are compromised, you got to be careful. Like when a hull of a plane is compromised, it's going down. The ship is going down, right? If anything's compromised, so you got to be careful about what you're compromising, right? You gotta make sure that it's more of like a mutual understanding to get to know one another and see what differences are cool and what differences we can make and what memories we can make. And I have friends now from Iowa that I still talk to this day. I got friends from, you know, last year that I don't talk to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got friends from Iowa that I've played basketball, that we've gone through experiences, like that we've gone through hardships and still talk to them people to this day. Now they got kids and they kids are doing what we used to do. We call it like, yo, you remember when?
Nice.
And he's like, yo, you know, those conversations, they mean a lot, you know, because now their kids are looking at us like, yo, who you calling? Why? Yo, he picked up on the first ring? Oh, man. And it's like, yeah, you never mentioned him, but he's that dude. Like, how does that? Oh, he got TV show. How the hell you know this guy? Who are you? You know, like, so it's those experiences that mold you, and then you think about them when you have to go through them again. And believe me, man, like opening up new markets with businesses.
Oh yeah,
those experiences from Utah, Iowa, Puerto Rico, DR, they do.
Because now you know how to deal with the different types of people.
Yo, you can drop me off anywhere.
Yeah, you
Anywhere.
adapt.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it happen.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome, dude. How did you get to Tampa specifically? Because I saw in the documentary there was a picture of you wearing a Leto basketball jersey.
Yes, sir.
Dude, you know I went to Leto.
You went to Leto. Yeah. There we go. Yeah,
Class of 2000, so I might be a little older.
I'm 2002.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is what happened.
Dude, so we were probably in the same school around the same time.
Well, at that point I was at Hillsborough.
Oh, okay.
So I went 2 years to Leto, or 2 years to Hillsborough, transferred 2 years to Leto. What happened was this. So my mom, single parent mom, raising two kids on her own. It's tough to raise a man, right? Tough to raise it. And then you already seeing that I'm living like that. And the reason being is because I didn't want the same kind of life that my mom had. You know, my mom's on Section 8 to this day. We're wow. She's still getting Section 8 from me and my sister. Like, nice. She's still doing it. So, and she doesn't have, I'm not going to say she doesn't have to. She didn't have to. My mom was very smart. My mom, everybody tells me the same thing. The same thing they say about me, they say about my mother. But the crazy part about this is that they don't have welfare for dudes. They don't have Section 8 for guys. They don't have, like when you come out of prison, they'll try to, I got denied for food stamps because of my charge.
Out of here.
Yeah. So I realized very, very quick, nobody's coming to save me. And so the kind of life that I wanted to lead and live, it wasn't going to be the way my mom taught me. And so we clashed. And, she would take certain things from me that I loved, and I felt like she was doing that shit on purpose.
Really?
Big time, man. Like I was excelling at baseball, took me out of baseball. Excelling at basketball, took me out of that. Wouldn't let me go to the games. So I was like, fuck this shit, man. Like I got to get out of here because you holding me back at a young age, 14 years old. So we got into a like little argument. My mom was quick. She's a Latina mom, so she's quick to slap the shit out of you. But she's not going to play those games, and I wasn't having that. Wow. I wasn't having that. So I left.
Where was this at?
It was at that time it was in Connecticut.
Okay.
She had moved us to Connecticut. Seventh, 8th, and 9th grade, right? I start from the bottom on the bench, and then I'm finally moving up. And now it's the Christmas tournament, and now she don't want to let me go to Christmas tournament. We got a game for the Christmas tournament. She's not trying to let me go. I said, you crazy. Like, I'm out of here.
They're going to kick you off the team.
Yeah, they're going to kick me off the team. They can't rely on me. My mom's not trying to hear that. You don't ever want to spend Christmas with that. Yo, my mom shook. So obviously, Latinos, right? You know the trees?
Yeah.
Okay, so the tree, my mom was quick. She took the tree. You know how you have to put the little things on fake trees? Well, she was pissed off. She started shaking the tree. So I'm like, you ruining Christmas, you shaking the tree. I don't realize that the reason why she's shaking the tree is because it's actually like a bat. The thing is like a bat. When the leaves fall off, she pulled it out. It was a stick.
Get out of here.
And I'm like, nah, I got to go. I grabbed the stick. I got to go. And I never went back.
Wow.
So my grandmother, I went to the Christmas tournament. The police show up.
At the tournament?
At the tournament. They saying I'm a runaway. I say I'm not going. One of my friends, he takes me into his house. They call my grandmother, they call my aunt, all these people who, my mom takes me away from. And I'm like, look, I'm not going back. Put me in foster care, put me in whatever you want to, I'm not going back. And they were like, well, let's go move to Florida. We'll send you to Florida with your aunt. She'll take you.
Done.
I'm out of here.
Done.
You what, Florida? Come on. And I never went back, bro. And, issues happened with my family during that time where I had to be on my own. Like, they were like, all right, well, I can't do this. You got to go back to your mom's. And I was like, really? And I left there, too.
Oh, damn. I
ain't
going back.
I'm not going back, bro. I still slept in parks.
Wow.
Yeah, not playing no games, bro. I'm not going back.
It's like jail. It's like
it was at a young age, man. A lot of people don't know the things that I've been through. A lot of people, they see the cars, they see the thing, they see the business, but they don't understand what it actually took, the sacrifice that I had to make.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what it is? Like I had a kid at a young age because of that, because we were trying to figure out. I thought I was a man already, but I'm going through the stuff that grown people are going through. So I'm a
at
kid.
A young age. Yeah.
I'm a kid going through adult games, playing adult games. And so it forced me to grow up super fast. You know what it is to be sleeping in a trap house, bro?
Wow.
And still maintain a 3.5 average.
Dude.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like these things. So I transferred to Hillsborough because of that whole situation, right?
Okay.
They need me to move. I was like, no, so I slept in the trap house. I slept in the park. Seminole Heights, before Seminole Heights became gentrified, that was the hood, bro.
Damn.
Yo, I'm eating Doritos and Gatorades for dinner, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm walking to Lato from Sly and Nebraska, and I'm walking all the way to Lato, all the way down there to make it to class. I was late the first period every single day. Luckily, Coach Stewart at the time, Coach Stewart, he would pick me up. He was the basketball coach. He would pick me up. But he told me, yo, if you're not here by 7:15, bro, or by 6:45, I'm leaving you. You're going to have to walk. And he would leave me.
Yeah. I mean, he has to get to work, too.
So I knew to get there early.
Wow.
I knew to get there early. So it taught me a lot.
Coach Stevens is a badass.
Yo, Coach Stewart, and Coach Stevens, too. Yo, there was I know all those people, if I wouldn't have got through high school if it wasn't for those people. If it wasn't for the people like, Chris Ward from the Boys and Girls Club, that they helped me get into the trap house. They paid the rent for 2 months.
Wow.
If it wasn't for those people, if it wasn't for Coach Stewart, if it wasn't for Miss Crescenzi, who was the math teacher, right? If it wasn't for her, I never made it the first period.
Wow.
But she still would let me take the test, and she would still let me turn in my homework, and she wouldn't, she would say, hey, look, you better be here for 70% of these things, right? Or else I can't.
Yeah.
She used to help me out.
Yeah.
Bro, it was if it wasn't for people like that, I wouldn't be here. Again, like,
It was, yeah, it was those steps that you needed to take. Wow.
Yep. And then thank goodness, man, like Coach Stewart would have us playing ball through the summer because I transferred there at the end of the sophomore year. And the transfer portal was different. Back then you had to sit out a year. So I had to sit out my whole junior year to play my senior year.
Wow.
So luckily, he put us through the summer league together. We were raw. Because of the chemistry that we did through the summer, it carried over. We carried that momentum over to the season. Bro, we were if we weren't the number 1 seed, we were the number 2 seed. And I argue with my boy Otis White from Chamberlain, because they were the number 1 seed, I think. And we were the number 2 seed. And we ended up losing in the district first round to a team to Hillsborough.
Oh, damn. The irony.
To Hillsborough. And, bro, we had beat Hillsborough by 30, 20 points. We set the school record on points on them, and we lost to them in the first round. We really just choked. That was tough, too. That was like a hardship because we were looking to make a state run. We had a good team. We probably had one of the better teams in Lato history because we were trash when 2000.
Yeah.
We had Mike Jenkins before that. Yep. We were the best team. After we left, it started going down again. So, I just look at those things and I say, look, it taught me that whole summer, because we lost in the first round, no schools were looking at me. So now I have to go through the next summer, like the summer of my senior year.
You got to fight even harder
to get on a team.
Wow.
So I had to go to camps. The Boys and Girls Club used to pay for me to go to Future Stars camps. That's how I ended up going to Iowa. They paid for me to go to Iowa, Drake University in Iowa, in Des Moines. And I went off.
Damn.
I went off against some of the better. Mind you, I'm a nobody because nobody knows my name. I go off in Iowa against a couple of dudes from Jeff Horner from the University of Iowa, another dude, Mike Turner. He was a high school prospect that was going to the University of Iowa. A bunch of other dudes. Man, I went off. Corver, Kyle Corver from the 76ers. That's where he's from. He's from Pella.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and so I went off against his little brothers.
Wow.
It was an awesome experience, and that's how I got picked up.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but that's fighting every single day, man.
Every day, man.
We're
not even scratching the surface of your story, bro.
Yeah. I mean, that is the story. That's the stuff that VH1 had to condense because, bro, there's so many stories. There's so many stories that they couldn't tell you.
Oh, I'm sure.
We didn't have enough time.
I'm sure. Yeah, you got to cut a lot.
Yeah.
To fit it into, an hour?
Yeah, they said.
With Canva, we design videos together. Easy.
Trim this.
Tweak that.
And that's a wrap.
What will you design today? Start designing for free at canva.com.
You know how I got on VH1?
Yeah, tell me.
This is big. So, my boy Matt, his name's Couture because he's an artist. I meet him by chance in New York when I'm living in New York doing solar. And he's like, yo, do you rap? So I'm like, you know what? I do. And I get on and I spit this flow. And he was like, wow. And I was like, so we clicked because he had made me sound the best I'd ever sound. We click. He tells me, he gets to know me, knows my story, comes down to Florida and was like, yo, I got a boy. He just put a post up. I think your story would really fit. So he sends me the link. Like, hey, did you pay the price for your were you in the streets and then you changed your life? VH1 is looking for
those type of stories. Wow.
And so he sent me that. So what I did was he was like, yo, here's his email. It says send an email. So now I've been in sales. I send the email of my life, like real brief, short and sweet, but telling like, yo, I made a lot of bad decisions, but I learned from them. This is what happened to me. This is where I'm at. And now this is where I'm at. Da-da-da. So I write the email as clean as it could be. Best story, best pitch that I could do, short and sweet. Before I reach out to him, I send it. Then I reach out to him in the DM. Yo, my boy Matt, he told me to reach out to you about this story. I just sent you an email in your email. Read it. And if you think it's a good fit, holla at me.
You're a good salesman.
Well, I learned a lot, boy.
Yeah.
I learned a lot. Sure enough, he read it. He was like, yo, You want to speak Monday? I got about 45 minutes. I'm like, cool. He speaks Monday. That conversation was for like 2 hours.
Nice.
And he was like, yo, my man, you got a long story. This should be a movie. We only got 45 minutes, though. So I'm going to have to condense it. And when he sent me the slide deck, I got the slide deck of what he sent to the executive producers from VH1. He made me look like Kobe, and he made me look like yo, it was crazy. I was like, yo, my man, like I got good numbers, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, yo, you made me sound like I was like Iverson, like, and he was like, yo, that's what you got to do, bro.
Yeah.
You got to get them with the hook, and then when they meet you and they actually hear about your story and they put you in front of the camera, they're gonna love you. Shout out to Danny Peralta, man, from Hot Snakes Media, for real. My man
he
did his
hooked you
thing.
up.
He put me in there, and then now they got a season 2. So that episode actually was a year ago. They re-aired it in front of the Murder Inc. documentary. They re-aired it on Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Murder Inc., the new episode for Murder Inc., they air it at 9. They just aired my episode in between there, and then they re-aired the Murder Inc. episode for the people who couldn't get it there. So a lot of people saw that
Huge
episode.
exposure.
My phone's been going off, bro.
Wow. Wild.
It's been going off. That's what I'm saying. It's like the universe, right? It's like God looking at you and saying, hey, look, let's get you.
It's your time, man.
That's it.
You got to ride the wave.
That's it.
Dude, you got a surfboard, man.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
riding that
I got a
wave.
jet ski around this thing. Youngest in the yacht club. You're a speedboat. I'm telling you. And that's the thing though. Like we talked about this when we first got in off camera. Like the manifestation. Yo, I want this. I want this. I want this. Yo, when I moved from, so I get into solar. Right. I go to college. I get into solar. Let's back up. I go to prison. Okay, because I fall into, like, the world is against me. I fall into that.
And then you're like, fuck it.
Fuck the world. If I'm destined for death, prison, if I'm
going to go out with a bang.
I'm going to go hard as I can doing that too.
Boom.
So I get into these streets. It was easier for me to go get a gun, easier for me to go get a pack than it was for me to get a job.
It's easy money, man.
Well, it is easy money, but it's something that our culture conditions us to. If you look at what today's culture, and it doesn't matter if it's English, Spanish, it doesn't matter if it's, what are they teaching you?
Yeah.
Go, I can curse on here, right?
Yeah.
Fuck bitches. Go run off on a plug. Get them keys, right? And especially back when I was
Move some pounds.
Get this money.
Yeah.
Especially when I was the Ross age, the Jeezy age, Trap or Die, T.I., like
You're immersed in that, man.
that's it. And then you seeing these people in the hood, the only people who got that are the dope boys. The only people that got that, But what you don't realize, the other side of it, prison. When those people get jammed up, you don't see the other side. You just say they got wiped off the face of the earth, right? That's a bad story because it ain't happened to you till it's you.
Exactly.
Till you got 2 baby mamas. Because they saying fuck bitches, go in the club, fuck these hoes. It's you in prison because they said trap or die.
Dude, you went hard.
It's you out there, you know what I'm saying, struggling, coming back out to nothing. It's you. Yo, I couldn't even fit the clothes. I was on locked up while I was in jail. I couldn't even fit the clothes that I went in with, and that's all I had.
Yeah, I saw in the documentary you lost quite a bit of weight while you were in there.
It's you.
Yeah.
But you don't see all that. And so what ends up happening, man, is I had opportunities aren't going to keep coming if you keep squandering them. And so what I did was I almost went back. That's what the show's like. I almost went back. I got a job and they fired me because of my record. So I went back like, you know what? Fuck this shit again, man. Like, fuck it. I'm going hard as I can. Luckily, thank goodness. Number one, it was weed. So that was great because I spent 3 years, 24 hours a day, 1,077 days surrounded by police.
Wow.
I was studying them. I was not going to go back. If I was going to go back, they were going to work to get me because I felt like they got me on a humbug the last time. They're going to work to get me on this one. So I'm not going to do cocaine because cocaine is going to get me a lot of time.
That's what you did the first time. Right?
Yeah, and that's what they jammed me up with. And they gave me a lot of time for a little bit of cocaine.
Wow.
So I was like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something where the risk isn't going to be crazy. So I went with weed. Now weed legal. You know what I'm saying? So now you sitting here taking these
legal
chances.
drug
There's certain things that you're looking at, and like I went hard. Luckily, they found the weed. Luckily, they let me go because I did not want to be in prison in Arizona. I'm not gonna lie to you, and that's what I was preparing my mom for. Prison in Arizona. Fuck, I'm out of here. All these bad things that are gonna happen. My grandmother's gonna die by the time she raised me. My grandmother's gonna die by the time I get out. My kids ain't
Your
gonna
kids
know.
are gonna be older. Yeah.
All that.
Wow.
Luckily, they let me go. And then I looked at one of my friends that I had saw 6 months before in Atlanta. He was doing bad. I saw him. I was doing bad now. I look at him. He's in New York selling solo 3-piece suit. Bad little shorty on him living in Midtown Manhattan. I'm like, yo, I know it costs. And I know I work harder than him. He don't like to work. So if he can do this, then I can go out here and I can be great at this. So I went up to New York. It wasn't that simple.
Of course, it never is.
It wasn't that simple. And I slept in the office for 8 months.
Wow.
I slept in the office for 8 months, but I finally got it. And then it changed my life. When I finally get to that point in solar, man, now they're giving me a new office. There's still the same hardships, still the same struggles. Nothing's different. It's still the same. It's still the same fight. But I was conditioned for it in prison. I was conditioned for it through my whole life. I was conditioned. Yo, if this is hard, this is easy.
Yeah.
And that's where we got to. I don't know where I was going off. The train left the station on that. I was going, the conditioning, right? The conditioning, right? I realized that if you could take that same energy in the negative with our culture, teaching you how to be like this and that, then my lane was I could teach you how to do it the right way. Because I've been on both ends of the spectrum. The shit that you ain't going to see, I seen. So that ain't it. But we teach us that through the music. So through my music, I'm trying to teach you, you could actually do it a different way. Same energy, same hustle, but you could actually you could capitalize. And instead of the
You won't go to jail.
I mean, you might if you don't pay your taxes.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? So instead of the police, you got the IRS.
You got different problems.
Right. But they're better problems, right?
Yes.
I don't have to worry about, jack boys, seeing what I got. I mean, you still have to, right? Because I'm not green to the situation, right? I got to go shoot a video after this, right?
Nice.
I'm going to be in the trenches with them. But everybody, they told me, everybody that, they're like, yo, everybody that's there, they see you on social media, man, they really admire you. You're really inspiring. And that's what I want people to know. I got more now than I did when I was hustling in the streets. I get to keep it all.
You don't have to watch your back. You don't have to look over your shoulder.
That's what you should be doing. Figuring out how to keep it. Keep that. Because I lost everything when they came and got me.
That's how you find out who your true friends are, man.
I learned that quick, man.
Oh, yeah.
No writing. Nobody writing. A lot of my close friends, I'm still friends with them now. A lot of them just, you out of sight, out of mind, bro. Life goes on without you, bro. Life goes on without you, and when you're sitting here, you're thinking about those things, and you're living life, and you're behind the wall. Like, think about it, man. I'm
Changes your perspective a little bit.
sleeping with a bathroom in a room with a bathroom in it.
How long were you in there?
3 years.
Wow.
3 years, and I was going to war with the police.
Yeah.
Because Florida prison's different than other places.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in Florida, in other places, the inmates run the prisons. In Florida, the guards run the prisons.
Wow.
So you might be cool with all the inmates, but you fight a guard. And that's what happened to me.
Well, what happened?
It was crazy because they had me working in the back gate, and it was a tough situation, right? Because the back gate's supposed to be real sweet, and it was at the beginning. But then they got this rookie in there. And this dude wanted to make a name for himself, so he was making my life miserable every day. Didn't like me, just ain't fuck with me. And I was his entertainment. That's the thing. Like, and you could ask any CO. You could play this from and ask them, like, yo, if you had a bad day at your house, like you found out your wife was cheating on you, and you were a correctional officer, how is the day going to be for anybody in the prison?
It crosses you. Yeah. They're going to take it out on you guys.
They're going to fuck up. But this is the thing. They can fuck up your life and no one cares.
Wow.
So think about that. Now I think about it as like, yo, okay, now you're somebody's entertainment. And I refuse to be somebody's monkey. Circus monkey. Circus animal. I refuse
I'm not
to
your
be
entertainment.
So for some prison inmates, they're not coming home, bro. So the idea of outside food feels good. They'll jump some buckets with chains on their feet. Because I was in the chain gang for real. Like chains out there weeding. So they'll stack up these paint buckets. They'll turn them upside down, stack them up, and see who can jump over them with the chain without for a tray.
Yeah, it's literally like a circus. Like you're circus animals for them.
So they be like, Serrano, your turn. You can keep that tray, bro.
My dignity's worth more than that, Big Mac.
And they be like, oh, what, you too good? Yo, so they're like, oh, you too good for us? I'm like, nah, I know I'm going home one day and I'm not trying to be on this. I'm not your entertainment. Now you on their radar because you won't do what they say.
Yeah. Now you're on their bad side.
Now you ain't part of the cartels because I ain't gonna be your little bitch. Damn. And now they're making your life miserable. And so, you know, bro, I'm not on that. I'm not cool with bullies, bro.
Yeah, no, hell no.
I don't like people taking advantage of people who aren't in the situation right to defend themselves. Exactly. And so they tried to give me 5 years in there. So I'm going to show you something. Before anything happened, I had never got arrested, bro. I'd never had handcuffs put on me. Never. First time they arrest me, bro, first time offender, nonviolent first time offender. I get 3 years, bro. I go in there, bro. Look how your life could change, bro. They're not offering probation because I won't cooperate. I'm not snitching, none of that. So they hit me with the book, 3 years minimum mandatory. They have minimum mandatory sentences in Florida.
Yeah, they do.
So 3 years, boom. Go in, get into it with a police officer, assault on a Leo. That's an extra 5 years. So now I'm looking to get more time in prison than I did to get into prison.
Get out of here. Is it?
Not just that, bro. They sent me to CM for fighting a police officer, assault on a Leo, which means this. I'm heightened security level 4. My roommate is a bunkie, is a dude from Jacksonville, Florida. His bunkie is named Dragon. He was on death row twice for killing 2 people the first time, 1 the second time. So he was at Florida State Prison. He was on death row waiting to be executed. Florida did away with the death penalty. So he got off, and then he got out and killed somebody else.
Get out of here.
And on the way back, they did away with the death penalty again before they went and put it back on. This is my bunkie, bro.
So he's bunking with you now.
I'm a first-time nonviolent offender, bro. And this is my bunkie, bro.
Wow.
He tried to kill me when I was in there. We tried to kill each other.
Oh, my God.
These are the things that I'm saying, bro. These are the things that I'm saying is like life will put you in adverse situations. How are you going to deal with them? How are you going to be like the best version of you that you could be? And if it's negative, then you're going to be the best negative version of you. If it's positive, you're going to be the best positive version of you. It's telling you.
It's a cycle. It's either a positive cycle or a negative cycle. Whichever one you feed is the one that you're going to go down.
Yeah, and you could be a fucking good, I was a good negative leader, bro.
Yeah.
Not only was I taking myself, but people was coming with me, bro.
Yeah.
And
You're
now
driving that train.
I was, yeah, and that's, people don't realize that. People think that it's just you, but your actions affect the people around you. And I started realizing that when I started getting, and I had to wake up. I had to wake up in prison. Like, I had a wake-up call. Like, yo, this ain't for me. And it was when the Sarge came around, he'd be like, Serrano, come into the door real quick. We're talking through the door. He's like, yo, man, you got assault on the Leo, huh? I'm like, man, I'm about to get, they about to do something. He's like, bro, I look at this dude here. He's in here for murder. He's supposed to be here. I looked up this dude's charges. This dude's in here for robbery, armed robbery. Someone almost died. He's supposed to be here. I look at you. you ain't supposed to be here, bro.
Like, what are you doing here?
He's like, my advice to you is get out of Florida. I was like, really?
Damn.
It's crazy.
Dude, the system is made to keep you coming back, bro.
Go there on vacation,
Yeah.
leave on probation, come back on a violation.
Wow. That's so true, man.
When I left, man, they let me out on April 1st, April Fool's Day. I thought they was playing a joke.
Get out of here.
April Fool's Day. So April 1st, 2022 was my 10-year anniversary out of prison. 10 years free.
Wow.
What a 10-year challenge. But look at this. I want you to know, man, in 10 years, man, in 20 years, I couldn't accomplish what I did in 10.
The 10 years after you get out.
Yeah, why? Why is that? Mindset.
The mindset, yeah.
Mindset. And I'm telling people my story so they can see where I've come from to know why I'm the way I am to get where I'm going. Because I don't glorify none of that stuff. I want you to know, yeah, I've gone through all that stuff. I'm just telling you the story of what I was feeling at the time, how I was feeling, the desperation that I
felt
had.
like you had no choice. Yeah.
And if you take that same idea, because now today I still feel like I have no choice, but it's no choice to be successful. No choice but to be successful. So I take the same principles and just feed that positive wolf, and we eat.
Yeah, we all eat.
We all eat the same way too, right? Because at the beginning I did it just to pay my bills.
Yeah.
Well, now I can't even quit. I ain't got no choice because there's so many people that depend on me.
Yeah.
And that's a better feeling than when, this dude may not have even come back from a mission you sent him on.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, think about that when you're talking about, when you rapping in your music, talking about do this, off this, all these rappers. Kevin Gates said something the other day, and I felt him. The real killers, they don't say nothing. Believe me, I was locked up with them. The real killers, you recognize a real killer. They just don't, they not out there posting that shit. They not out there, a real recognize real. So a real killer look at you and you know. I see a real killer and he look at me, he know I ain't a killer. He probably know that I ain't no bitch though neither.
Yeah.
Right? But you look at him and you recognize it. You look at his charges, yo, you wouldn't even know. I'm telling you, man.
They don't go around bragging about it.
This man just living like that, bro. Mind you, I told you about Dragon.
Yeah.
How did I find out all about that? I didn't know when I came in. I just thought he was just some old dude. One day they had me outside the cell and I'm looking at his charges.
It's like a rap sheet.
Murders, though.
Wow.
Murders. Mine's little possession of cocaine.
Yeah. A little bit of cocaine, a little bit of weed.
What? No. Possession of cocaine in prison was possession of cocaine, trafficking.
Wow.
This man was like first-degree murder, 2 counts of first-degree murder, second-degree murder, 1 count, and then a whole other shitload of shit. And Dragon wasn't out there talking about da-da-da. He used to, you know what he say? A bunch of loud mouths. Telling you, man.
It's a different mentality.
I mean, like Kevin Gates said, man, when you actually watch something leave that you know you can't bring back and it does something to you. It changes you.
Yeah, it does.
That's not something that everybody could go down that road and think that it's it's serious now, right? So when you actually thinking about that and you out here living life and you know that there's people out there that's living like that, it makes you really think in the perspective, right? I could go out here, man, get hit by a bus right now. Am I going to feel great about what I did? I hope my story inspires you. I'm going to feel like, fuck, I didn't get everything that I wanted done.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to feel like. Now imagine living in the hood, knowing that there's somebody out there like that. And if you on the menu with that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
You better get out of there.
Yeah.
You got to work hard to get out of there because the killer, I know I talk a lot, man. So
No, you're good, bro. I love this.
My son, my sons, right? My girl has 2 kids. I have 2 kids. So I call them my sons because I'm helping them raise them. And they actually, my other 2 kids don't live with me. My other son, he's already old. He's at Full Sail University. He's better at music than me.
Nice.
He's mixing, mastering records for Polo G, Almighty J, all these things. Like, this kid is doing his thing. The apple don't fall far from the tree,
Right.
but he did that. He did that because I wasn't there. I was in prison. I was doing that, but he did that. My other son, he lives in New York. I went to prison. His mom didn't let me see him. That's it. Just took him away, all these situations. So our relationships aren't there. So those 2 kids that live in my home with me right now, who are 11 and 9 years old, I want to give them the best opportunity to be successful so that they can learn from me, right? Because if I can't give the opportunity to my kids, right, then I want to make sure that I can give it to anybody else's kids that come around me so that when my kids do come see me and they do come say, hey, look, what was my dad like? People ain't going to say he was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
They're going to say, you know what, man, like, maybe the situations didn't happen where you could be there, but this is what it is. So I pick them up from school sometimes. So there's this lady in the front, and she says, oh, stepdad, Boda's dad? Okay, cool.
Boda's
Yeah,
dad.
Boda's dad? Okay. Yo, I love them. They're so sweet. And they are. They're sweet kids. They never grew up the way that we, and they won't ever grow up the way that we do.
Because you learned what not to do.
And because we've changed our environment. Like,
Yes.
I live in a beautiful house now. Like, I don't live in the hood. We ain't sleeping in the trap house. I don't even want to know where the trap house is. If there's a trap house near my block, I'm moving. Right?
Because you were a product of your environment.
Big fact. So they're never going to see that, and great. But one thing that I noticed was that same lady, she was talking to him. And she's like, Des, I really like your family because I'm from the hood, and I could see the teacher's teaching her. He's like, yeah, my daughter was acting up, so I sent her to go back to live with my grandmother for 2 weeks.
Damn.
And when she came back, this is the teacher speaking to my son. When they came back, she was so grateful to be home. She said, Mommy, why is there so much guns? You see that?
Wow.
There's a difference, bro. In our society, in the society when you grow up, like people saying, yo, I lost 50 friends, like in Chicago. I lost 50 friends. Yo, somebody from that environment is gonna say that's fucking crazy.
That's nuts.
But if you were living in Chicago, that'd be everyday life.
That's normal. Yeah.
Living in some place and saying, man, I wasn't supposed to live past 21. You go to somebody else, they'd be like, yo, you're nuts. Live past 21, you're not even living yet. But in our society, that's normal everyday life.
That's crazy. Just depends on where you grow up, man.
Your environment. And so when I see that, I'm not glorifying the situation. I'm just telling you what happens in different kind of situations. And the information is out there.
I like what you said earlier, man, is that the same kind of energy you're going to be devoting to this, devote it to something good and get that cycle going and go down that route.
Get those results.
Yeah.
Because the results are a lot better.
Yeah.
You know, there's 4 keys. I'm gonna leave you with this. There are 4 keys that I use to be successful. One is always be positive and always be happy. That's the hardest thing to do. Because we live in a negative society. Look at this, bro. Look,
do, man.
gravity. It pulls you down. It actually takes effort to get out of bed. Literally. So always be positive and always be happy. Rule number 2, the opposite of rule number 1, right? Avoid negativity at all costs. Doesn't matter how much it costs you. Yo, you living with your mom's, she's holding you back. What does it cost? Leave. Avoid negativity at all costs. You're in an environment, you're in an abusive relationship, it's negative. My kids, or child support. Well, that's the cost it's going to take for you to get out of that situation.
There's always a cost.
So always be positive and avoid negativity at all costs. Number 3, it's better to show people than to tell people.
Agreed.
And I told this to my son, my youngest kid. I said, hey, man, if I said that I drove a Lambo, if you told your friends that I drove a Lambo, what would they do? They were like, they wouldn't believe me. Said, but if I came to pick you up from school in a Lambo, they're like, oh yeah,
Undeniable.
they wouldn't. Like, you don't even have to tell them. They be talking about you left and right. They're like, yeah, better to show people. So always be positive, always be happy, avoid negativity at all costs. It's better to show people than to tell people. And then this is the last one. Don't waste your time teaching people who won't listen or learn. Don't do it. Only teach those who want to listen and learn and who are genuinely interested. Because, dog, if you're not interested, bro, I could tell you whatever. I could make my mouth fried chicken. You don't give a damn.
Yeah. It's for nothing. Yeah.
It's for nothing. So don't waste your time on it, man. Don't waste your time arguing with people who you ain't never gonna change their mind on. They've been that way forever. There's nothing that you could do. Yo, don't waste your time. Leave that to some other sucker.
I like that.
It's the truth. So always be positive and always be happy. Avoid negativity at all costs. It's better to show people and only teach those who want to listen and learn. You stick with those, keys to success.
Be successful, man.
I have just started using Canva, and wow.
It's just me and Canva Video.
Today I'm designing a Canva website.
Wow, it's amazing. This Canva doc is so visual.
Canva whiteboards really get our ideas flowing.
Just needs to feel a little more us.
What will you design today? At canva.com.
It's just it.
Speaking of success, bro, what I know once you kind of left prison, you decided to start a business.
I wouldn't say I decided. Actually, yeah, I would say. So what happened was this, man. The VH1, if you watch the VH1 story, you'll see.
Yeah, I suggest everyone right now go watch it.
My True Crime Story,
It's
episode 3, Vince Serrano. On VH1, BET, whatever you see it. I went and the situation in Arizona happened. They found the weed. They let me go. I had been telling myself. I read a book called The 48 Laws of Power. I read Awaken the Giant Within. And I read Rich Dad and Poor Dad while I was in prison. But after I got out of prison, all that shit I forgot. Right? I was just trying to find a job, trying to be there for my kid, trying to make it, right? So all those principles I forgot. When that shit happened in Arizona and I had to drive and I had $300 left in my bank account that was supposed to go to child support, I had to call my baby mama right then and there and say, look, I need $100 for gas, I need $100 for this Motel 8, and I need $100 to try to get home. She was like, all right. When I got home, right, I lost $3,000 of my boy's money. So I had to sell my car, and I could have used the money to flip with some more weed and then try to pay him back a little bit. No, I sold my car, and I gave him what I needed to because that was my boy, and my word is everything. So I had a little bit, I had $150 left, and something told me in Rich Dad Poor Dad, start an LLC. And
It's the first step.
I said, if I don't do this now, when I don't got anything, I'm never going to do it. And I had the last $140 that I had, and I started an LLC.
Dude, it's funny how your mind almost went back to that, selling weed. It's like, I know how to do that.
It's
like,
easy for me.
Yeah.
It was yo,
It's
bro.
easy to fall back in.
This is the crazy part. I'd be in Walmart, waiting in line. The whole situation happened. Somebody see me be like, yo, Hunt, Vince, bro, that's you? I'm like, yo, what's good, man? He's like, oh, man, the streets need you, bro. We dry out here, bro. You back online? Come on, bro. You beat him, man. Come on, we need you, bro.
Pull you back in.
It ain't never been the same since you left, bro. I'm like, bro, I'm in Walmart right now, bro. I ain't even trying to be on that right now. I'm trying to change my life. You want me to go out here and crash for you, bro? I'm with the family right now. Like, relax.
Wow.
But you see how I had to leave. So I ended up starting my business. I called it the Vincent Serrano Development Group. It sounds like a real estate group, but it's really just to get me to develop into a better person. I started an LLC. I went to irs.gov, got my EIN number. I went to the bank and started I got my own business
account.
Bro, I owed child support. So child support was levying my bank accounts, right? But they couldn't touch my business account.
Yeah.
Because that's its own entity, and I
LLC.
didn't know that. That has actually helped me. Just doing that has actually helped me progress. Because one time I had like $200 in the bank account, and the IRS accidentally levied my account, and it was negative 25 bands.
Ooh.
So that taught me right there, like, yo, I can't trust Vince Serrano. Nah, he's marked. He's marked. But this Vince Serrano Development Group,
LLC,
they, as long as I pay my
touch that.
taxes, so I found like a loophole. So I started funneling all my checks, everything into there. Then I started building, it automatically started building business credit. It automatically started building certain things, the length of the business. I was eligible for certain things. I wasn't even doing anything. The only thing I was doing was setting my paychecks to go to the bank account.
It started the wheels moving, man.
And then from that point on, man, then I started working for 2 years after that. That's when I started, I was working for other people, but I was getting paid like a business. And that started, I started getting an accountant because I needed to find out how to do business taxes. And then I was saving. I wasn't paying as much in taxes. I was writing more stuff off. I took a couple of losses in a year. I was like, whoa, this is great. Losses? I just bought a car.
Yeah, right.
How's that a loss? Like, but it's like a abusive expense to run a business.
Yes.
So I put myself basically back through college, starting from the bottom, business school.
Business school, yeah. You got your MBA.
Started from the bottom. Then when it was actually time for me to run my business, because I got tired of working for other people, not being able to be included in all the decisions, they would ask me for the decisions and then go do something else. And then they'd be like,
anyway,
why?
Yeah.
They would run backdoor deals without me knowing.
Without you, wow.
And then I would have to fire the people and explain why they still owed money. They would do what they had me in that. I was like, nah,
Get out of here.
I could do this myself. I could run it. And I feel like I could run it a lot better. I'm gonna make mistakes and I could fail, but I'm not afraid of that. I'm gonna learn. That's when I decided to create my own real business, and that's what I did with Solar Central Systems. And because I had the experience from working with everybody during that time in that same field, and the business principles and seeing those business principles, and then realizing that they were the same business principles as being in the street.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Younger City Yacht Club.
It clicked.
Oh, man, it's easy.
Wow.
And then it's not easy, but
Nothing's easy, but
the principles are the same. The players just changed.
Wow.
The game's the same. The players just changed. So when I realized that and we put that into perspective, bro, I go through shit every day. Every single day, shit that's like, it makes me feel like I'm still in the street. That's why I do it. It makes me feel like I'm still hustling, bro. I just ain't got to worry about gunshots and all this stuff. Like, I just ain't got to worry about arrested or getting like, I now got to deal with angry homeowners.
I'll take it.
I totally understand. And then it's about how I respond. A lot of the time, it's not about when things go good. It's easy when things are going good. It's about how you respond when things aren't going so good. And because, remember, when I lost that money from my boy's money, I could have took the money and tried to flip it 3 times and pay him little by little. Nah, I responded by just selling my car like I said I was going to do and giving him the money and getting him straight. That same dude let me sleep in his house. He respected.
You kept your credibility. Yeah.
And so when it's about how you respond when things aren't going well, that people remember. And I've kept that same principle, and because of that, the angry customers, they love me. Because I don't shy away. Yeah, I don't run away from the problems. I run to them and find solutions.
Wow. Now, I saw in the documentary also that with your company, you actually give opportunities to people with records. Because I know it said that you had a problem finding a job after you got out because of your record. It's like.
Absolutely. So nonviolent first-time offenders, right? Because obviously I can't have like crazy, you can't have crazy stupid stuff. Like
there's a reason why companies don't hire.
Do that.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that I do want to give people who a chance for sure. But if you out there and you really just not.
You can't hire Dragon.
I can't hire Dragon. I don't do Dragon. Put Dragon in somebody's house and boy, that's a liability.
Yeah.
So you can't you have to add value.
Yeah.
And I have to make sure that the business is protected, but I can also make exceptions for people that I think would add value, just got handed a bad hand.
Yeah, because you've been through it, man.
That's it.
You know what that's like.
And I recognize real, right? Mm-hmm. I can tell if you lying to me.
Yeah.
I can tell if you're a piece of shit. So if you telling me, I need an opportunity, but you a lazy bum and you want a handout. Nah, I'm going to see that from the jump. And I'm going to treat you with the same way that we, because I'm not the kind of guy that's going to enable people. I don't need that. I've done that before. I've like babied people, man. And that ends up putting them down the wrong. That's worse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you going out there and you a real live hustler and you want to change your situation, I can tell because I feed off that. That energy.
You've been there.
Yeah, that energy just flows from you, bro. When you meet somebody, you see that. It's automatic. Like when you met me and you saw me, I knocked on there and you were like, oh, this is him. Boom. Oh, this is maybe different than what I expected.
Yeah.
Because you maybe don't know what to expect when you meet somebody new for the first time. When you do and you start realizing, yo, this is what it is, that resonates. That first impression, last impression.
It's huge. Yeah.
So that's what I want to see. Even maybe you do have a body. Maybe you do have a body. I'm not saying that I'm going to put you in a house. But maybe you do have a body, right? Okay. Maybe you were young. Maybe you... Dude, I know a guy. I was locked up with him too. You know, this man saved his friend's life.
Wow.
The dude was there to kill him. He had a gun. He shot the dude to save his friend's life.
And then he went to jail.
He went to jail. But I'm going to show you. He didn't go to jail for 10 years. He actually had gotten away with it. His friend decided to do an armed robbery and got caught. And in the interrogation room, he said, yes, I did the armed robbery. But if I give you, I know a body that happened. If I gave you the name of the person that did it and I testify, can I get off on this armed robbery? They're like, we'll give you a year for the armed robbery. And he told on his friend.
Damn.
And that man's doing life in jail now.
Wow.
Not saying he's right, but maybe he shouldn't have shot that man and let that man kill him.
Yeah.
You see that? You see your life can
It's the
change.
circumstances, yeah.
You went to save somebody and you ended up
Screwed. Yeah.
So it's like this. Maybe the situation wasn't right. I feel like if it wasn't, things are going to take care of themselves. You know what I'm saying? Things are going to take care of themselves. And your energy, your aura, that's what's going to be there. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to see what's happening, right? There's certain times that things are excusable. What about that girl who she was doing like 10 years for rape. She killed her rapist and they put her in prison and they just let her out. You think she's got a job?
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she did 10 years. They had to fight to get her out. She killed the rapist, bro, and went to prison. So certain times, there's not.
It's a case-by-case basis.
It's a case-by-case. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying that every time it's going to be, we're hiring just the worst. Because then that stuff, like, I don't want the yard at my business.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying? I was
that
actually,
reputation.
Right. And not just that, man. Like, I'm not trying to be hard. I definitely wasn't the hardest dude on the yard. Definitely tell you that. Like, I was definitely not that guy, right? There were a lot of them, but I still hang out with a lot of those dudes. Like, those dudes that were, and when I say this, hang out, I'm saying this. When I go to Miami, I got my man Harry Aponte. This dude was the realest dude out there. It didn't matter what was going on in the yard. He was solid. He was in there for drugs too, but he was solid. He was actually more solid than me with him.
Yeah.
Because I felt like certain times people would try to take advantage of me, so I wouldn't let nobody close. But he still kept coming around and even in the streets. And I still rock with him.
Respect.
And he's been out 5 years right now.
Nice.
My dog Bush, another dude. He got body. I can't give him crazy jobs, but I speak to him because when we was on the yard and I was performing, I said a curse word and they shut my mic off.
Oh shit.
And the dudes was upset. The dudes that we were performing were upset. They wanted to beat me up. They wanted to kill me. And Bush was like, "Man, that was the hottest dude on there, man. Y'all just need to leave him alone." And he stood around me and we used to walk the track and talk about what we was going to do and how we was going to take over the game when we came out.
Wow.
And he got out 30 days after me. We still out 10 years.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like those relationships are the people that kept it real with me from the jump. So when I say this, it's like, maybe it's not a job. Maybe it's advice. Maybe it's consulting. Maybe it's I see your situation and I can tell you, hey, maybe solar's not for you, right? Maybe the solar, you know that, right? Because I tried to give Bush a job for sure. I wanted him to do some installations. He's like, nah, I'm not getting on no roof, bro. I'm not. You see how dark I am, bro?
You got a standard.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not doing that. You could do that. I'm not doing that. I'm like, all right. But I speak to him
Yeah.
And when he asked me about business, or he asked me about opening up the LLC, or he asked me about those things, it's there. There's sometimes, like, there's some people that reached out to me that the show aired. I had this mom, she hit me up. Hey, look, I'm sick. My son, he's, you know, he just got out of prison. You know, your story inspired me. Is there anything? He lives in New York. I don't have a solar company in New York, right? We don't do it in New York. But I will say this, I have friends that do. So I'll look out and try to get him opportunities to do those things.
Wow.
So it may not be like directly with me, but it could be, hey, look, because of that,
Yeah.
this is how I help.
Yeah, so you relate. You can relate to them.
Yeah, and I'm gonna and I'll do my best to help.
Yeah.
And I'll do my best to help. So I'm generally a good person, bro, from the beginning. That's the thing. I bet sometimes to a fault, because that enables people if you do it too much.
Yep.
So there has to be a balance, right? There has to be a balance where it's, yo, I'll do everything short of do it for you.
I'll show you exactly what to do, exactly how to do it.
Put you in the right position. Now it's up to you.
That's cool. That's awesome, man.
You know, we talked about that, like, about upgrading your space and how to, the manifestation.
Manifestation. I believe in that, man.
Well, if you believe in it, and then I affirm that belief, then we know we're headed in the right direction.
In the right direction.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah.
Because if you see, it's like, yo, look, maybe when I leave out of here, maybe you're like, man, I'm Puerto Rican. I lived in Puerto Rico. I went to Leto. I don't got a record. Shit, I could do this shit too.
Yeah.
And I could probably do it better, because I'm probably going to be eligible for more stuff than him. And that's really what I want. Listen, if I could do it, there's no excuse.
Yeah.
You could do it too, and you're going to do it.
If you have that much shit stacked up against you, man, and you're still hustling, you're still kicking ass, there's no excuse.
There's no excuse. I don't want to hear it. All I want to do is I want to hear, like you said, yo, one day I'm going to have my own spot. Yes, you will.
Yes, sir.
One day I'm gonna have the 5 or 6 rooms, and yes, you will. You write it down, and you keep telling yourself, and you visualize it, and you see it, the vision, and it's gonna happen.
Yeah, when you say it publicly like this, people hold you accountable.
1,000. It's on record now.
It's on record.
It's on record.
I've said it on a few episodes, so I can't.
You won't.
Yeah.
You'll do it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna give up on yourself, and that's. So again, like, people did that for me.
Yeah.
People did that for me. When I wanted to quit, my wife.
Sometimes you need that, man.
All the time.
Yeah.
You need that. All the time.
You need a good support system.
To be real with you, man, when you don't believe that you can do it, those extra people will push you the extra mile, because you know, okay, I'm not just doing this for me. I could live under a bridge. I could live in a bathroom with a bed in it.
If it was just me by myself, it would be a completely different story,
Right.
man.
But those other people, your kids,
Keep you
your
going.
wife, you know you can't stop, because they depend on you. And they're going to take what the life that you want for them is better than the life that you want for yourself.
Yeah. And they see that.
By how hard you go.
Yep.
And then, that shit is contagious.
It definitely is.
So then your kids will see that, and they'll be like, look, this is all the things that he went through and all the things that he had to do to get to this point.
It's like you said earlier, man, it's not about what you say to them. It's about what you show them.
Exactly.
And I'm literally showing them that I can do it.
Exactly. At a high level, when you do it at a high level, every single day, not one day and consistently, week after week, day after day, month after month, year after year, it adds up. And then they look at that, and then they do it, and then they do it faster than you. Hence, my kid.
Yes.
Hence, my kid is already at a higher
Your
level.
son's kicking ass, man.
Shout out to Vince, man. Go listen to that Vince. Love Don't Mean a Thing, for real. He got a song with Almighty J called Love Don't Mean a Thing. He just shot a video in Houston. He's going to Full Sail. He graduates in November. I love that kid. It's something. Go listen to him.
Speaking of music, man, let's get into your music, bro. You're
Yes,
charting.
sir.
You're
Yes, sir.
was it your iTunes chart, Billboard charts?
iTunes and Billboards, man. Number 4 on iTunes. And the crazy thing was that it charted on the day that we were recording the VH1 episode.
Oh, nice.
It was like the universe was just
Dude,
like,
it was telling you like you're supposed to be here, man.
I'm in there like showing the phone like, yo, I just charted iTunes. Da, da, da. Yo, I got verified because of the show. You know what's crazy? And I got to say this because, you know, this is going to go on socials, right? But I still have people telling me, yo, that verification don't mean nothing. That Instagram, people pay for that. People pay for it. And I look at that and I'm like, you know what? It always be the people, right? I got denied for verification like 30,000 times. Wow. For the last 10 years, since I've had an Instagram, I've applied for verification because I got on Locked Up. I did all this. And it took me to get on this show, them to write an article on Gossip, right? For me to get verified the next day. I didn't pay for the verification. I didn't pay for none of those things. But then people come back and say, oh, yeah, those verifications don't mean nothing. That's funny because the people who are saying that ain't verified.
Yeah, they don't have it.
The people who are saying, oh, that iTunes chart don't mean nothing, that's funny. They don't have the charts. It's funny that...
It's easy to shit on someone when you're not the one doing the job.
Right. And tell them, and, yo, you want to know what's crazy? I was watching the VH1 episode in my barbershop. And there were two dudes at another store, and yo, Mod Man Barbershop, Cyrus and Rich, they'll vouch for this. I want them in the comments. We're watching the thing, and when they showed that I got hit with that, they got me with 3 ounces, and I got 3 years. There was this dude in the barbershop. He wasn't getting his haircut. He was like, "Oh man, that man snitched." I got up out of the char.
The instant reaction.
Back to the yard. Yeah, you got his paperwork. Yeah, you know that man. You better be careful. Nah, you better look. But look, he got 3 years and only did 3 ounces. That means that you've never been to jail, right? Nah, because that's the minimum mandatory. He was like, "Why are you so hyped up?" I was like, "Cause that was me, bro. And you over here calling me a snitch." Wow. And it'd be people like you in the hood that I didn't cooperate with the police. I took on mine. They offered me probation if I would have snitched. But because those people were my plugs and they were like family to me, and I take responsibility for my stuff, I got the book thrown at me and had to do day for day 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
But when you sit back and then I come out because I kept it 100, and then you call me a snitch, I take offense to that.
Yeah, people don't know, man.
They don't get it. And the verifications, the reason why I say that is the verifications, the iTunes chart. Oh, people pay for that. Yo, do me a favor. The hard work that I had to do to get to this point, don't play with it.
Yeah.
Because it takes...
Don't minimize it.
Don't minimize it, man. Don't minimize it. Don't marginalize me neither, bro. Don't put me in this box. Yo, you could... Because you know the fake. Because you got the IG verification man in your DMs. Yeah. And you think about going down that route. Don't do that with me.
Yeah, just because some people did pay for that check doesn't mean I did.
Bro, listen. When I got the IG verification, I started checking because I could see which ones weren't real, and there are people that I respect that paid for the verification.
Get out of here.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, okay, all right, I respect
you earned that shit.
I got that shit, bro. Don't put me in there. Yeah, I got a crazy Benz outside, right? I worked hard for that shit. I still pay that shit off every day. Sometimes I'm like, what the fuck, right? I love my whip though.
Yeah.
I love my car, but it's somebody else's mortgage.
Yeah.
But I love my car.
That's what people love to hate, man, is because you have what they want and they're not willing to work as hard as you did for it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when they like, oh, they see the car now, they didn't know that I had to put 10 band from the first Benz that I got. I was driving a Nissan Sentra, the one that you see in the damn thing. They don't know my credit score was a 521. They don't know I was knocking doors to sell solar to go get my first Benz. They don't know that when I walked into the Benz dealership, the people at the Benz dealership was looking at me left and right like, what are you doing here?
How's this guy doing here?
They didn't know that when I asked them to run my credit that I had a 524 credit score. They were like, yo, look, you're not going to be eligible for nothing unless you have 10 bands down. They didn't know I had 10 bands.
Wow.
They didn't know that I was trying to get the dream car that I got now was the car that I wanted to buy back then. But they told me, nah, you can't get that one because you're going to need 100 bands down for that.
Wow.
So I had to start off somewhere, right? So I got a little E350 at the time. And then I moved myself up. And I worked hard all the way up, trading that one and getting a lease, realizing that one wasn't the one I want, till finally getting my car. This is years of hard work to get here, bro.
Yeah, this shit didn't happen overnight.
It happened over time.
Yeah.
And so when people sit back and, like you said, try to minimize it, they try to shit on a person's situation, and then not half the time, all the time. It's somebody that don't got the same shit as you, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking with that. Excuse my language too, because I get business, but when I get excited about something, it's the truth.
Yeah.
I'm passionate about what I do. I go super hard. My family sees it. My wife sees it. The people that I work with see it. The people that work with me see it. The employees that I help see it. The people that feed their families, and I got to write their checks every week.
Your story is inspiring as hell, man.
Thank you, bro.
And I appreciate you coming by and telling your story, bro. Like when I watched that VH1 special, I was blown away. I was like, this dude does not look like he has gone through half this shit.
Bro, right? You see, but people think I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, bro. And bro, those people,
because all they see is the result,
the glitter and
right?
the glam.
Yeah, the glitter, the glam, the stuff that you decide to post, and they don't see what it took to get there.
Nah, and that's why. So I used to have like my IG post used to be real long with everything that I was doing, and my boy Knowledge, shout out to Knowledge too. And Jedi and all these dudes, they were like, yo, you need to minimize that. You need to make that shorter. Just like a sales pitch, you need to make that short. They need to see what they really need to see. They need to see the billboard. They need to see the locked up. They need to see the story of the VH1, a clip.
Yeah, I saw you posted that one.
And then they need to see what you're doing now. That's it.
That's it.
And ever since I did that,
yeah,
my engagement has been crazy. Because people will come, they'll somehow see what I'm doing, they'll see what I'm seeing, and then they'll look to the next one. Oh shit, he just an Nazi guy with knowledge. Oh, I know him. Oh, I know this song. Oh man, he got this. Oh man, he got this.
Just the cream of the crop, man.
Damn, he was all locked up. Oh, I like this dude. Oh, he Remy Ma. Like, and then that's it, bro.
Yeah. It's a good marketing school here.
Yeah, yo, man, look,
we talk about branding, we talk about marketing,
bro. That when you told me the BlueBox, I make sure, because I'm not gonna lie, that's what made me stop.
Yes, sir.
I saw K Love. I'm like, what is that? K Love. Okay, K Love.
Where's he at?
Then I saw Brick. I'm like, yo, I've seen these are the same peers of people that I'm rocking with. What's going on? Like, what am I missing? What am I missing? And then I see it, and bro, I got a lot of respect for you, man. Thank you for having me, because like these are the things that I want to do. I'm gonna plug you with Knowledge too. I'm gonna make sure he's actually one of those dudes that we talk about. They see the struggle, they see what's going on, and he's gone through situations. Even when I was in prison, he was going through like. So there's a song that we're performing. If you look at my IG, I'm performing these songs. That song's from before I got locked up.
Wow.
So, and he did a song with French Montana, all these things. I was on the original verse.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm not mad. You got French Montana on there, bro. Yeah. I was locked up. So, and he made it to a high level. But then shit happened, and it had to like fall back, and then he's risen back up to where he needed to do. So the adversity, man, in life, it's always going to be there. It's just how you deal with it. Yeah. How do you respond? E plus R equals O. The event that actually only has negative that has 10% of what the outcome. The event plus your response equals the outcome. The event only has 10%. Your response is 90% of the outcome. So if it's, I blew my tire out, but you responded like, oh, my tire messed up, I'm not going to work, then the outcome is negative.
It's going to be negative, yeah.
100%. But if the event, you blew your tire, but you respond with like, no worry, I'll take an Uber and I'll get to work, then the outcome is going to be 80%. Still positive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not what happens to you, is how you deal with it.
1,000%. E plus R equals O. Event plus the response equals your outcome.
I like that, man.
I'll be
got
giving
some
you
gems, bro.
I'll be reading. That's actually from Above the Line. You wanna read that book? It means a lot, but it was the guy who was written it by. Right now, he's going through a scandal. So
nice.
It's Urban Meyer. Right?
Oh shit!
But it's called Above the Line: Lessons in Leadership, and I'm pretty sure Urban Meyer is probably like regretting some of the decisions that he made, and he's learning about it and trying to respond well. He better be. But you can't.
Sometimes you can't put the content on top of the person,
Right. And not just that,
because they're still human.
And they're still human. They make mistakes, and then you can't take away the things that he's done.
Exactly.
National championships with every school that he's been with. You're teaching young men how to be men, and you're doing that at a high level.
Can't take that away.
You got to respect that.
Yeah. I respect the hell out of you, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks again for coming by. And,
definitely.
Where can everybody find your stuff, dude? Where are you online?
Yeah, so you can go to I am Vince Serrano on IG, Twitter, TikTok, all that. You can also go to Vince Serrano on YouTube with all my stuff. So just my name. Vince Serrano also on Apple Music, Spotify, all those things, man. Go listen to that. I just dropped a song called Jenny. It's a dope record. It's about like how appreciative I am about the situations that's going on. I do English and Spanish. So, you know,
I
Latino.
noticed there was some reggaeton.
A little bit of género urbano, a little bit of hip hop. So it's you know, I'm very versatile. I'm actually gonna go shoot a video with my dog Yasma Rebutan right now. And that it's, you know, one thing that I'm realizing, man, is that people are noticing. People are noticing.
Yeah.
So, you're getting there. Youngest in the yacht club, Vince Serrano. You like that?
I love it, man. I love it. And go check out his VH1 special. It's My True Life Story, My True Crime Story on VH1. It's season 1, episode 3. Vince Serrano. This dude's gone through some shit. So go check it out.
Appreciate it, man.
For us, it's gonna be at BlueBox Podcast. We're on Instagram and TikTok. So we post little highlights of the podcast on there. There's gonna be a few gems from this conversation on there. We just launched the merch store, so if you want to rock out the Blue Box like I am here, just head over to shop.blueboxdigital.com and get your swag there. And that's it, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you for having me, man. Thank you, man. I can't wait to see what we chopped up and what we have. And for the people who are listening, man, don't, you know, sacrifice who you are today for the person you want to be tomorrow.
That's a perfect way to end it, man. And thanks again for coming by, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you for watching.